or
Correct.
they don't know how to process it, to mimic it,
Is
or
that
something
good
like
for
that.
I
Yeah,
think
I don't
so.
know.
All right, so this is the three Jags in a lab, three Jags, a cat in a lab podcast. And what we're doing is we're just kind of talking about stuff that we're doing every single day. And this is a Tuesday. It's a Friday, 2:00. So, Ron, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you were working on here with the dry powder, and then we're going to get into with Mark why this dry powder is better than other stuff for bioavailability.
Sure, I seem to have lost a
Looking
have
for
that
this?
envelope.
Looking for this?
Yeah. You want me to talk about that
Cat?
first?
Sure.
Yeah. Thanks, Kat. You're all right. So the first thing we have is a custom formulation. No, but seriously, what we do with BioDry is we take distillate, in this case, manufactured distillate, so we can make cannabinoid specific ratioed products. We have it here, which is still in R&D.
Well, time out. What's a cannabinoid ratio? Say that again.
Cannabinoid specific ratio products. So we could have X% CBD, X% CBG, X% CBX.
So built to spec.
Built to spec every time, so that if you want to make, for instance, a capsule, and you always want to have so many milligrams of CBD, so many milligrams of CBG, so many milligrams of THC, we can do that every time, batch to batch. And what I have here is two. One's called, both of these are BioDry, but one's called Go and one called Slow. And the difference between the two is the amount of CBG versus CBN. So the Go has a larger amount of CBG, and the Slow has CBN. We all know what
That's
CBN
genius
does.
marketing right there.
That's genius marketing. So it's pretty cool.
So the BioDry itself, everything's encapsulated, which means that it's going to help. And that's almost where the name BioDry came from, is because it increases bioavailability. So, Mark, how does that even work?
Well, bioavailability is the biggest problem with any cannabinoid. Riveting information, Ron.
Yeah, it was riveting.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't wait to hear what you say.
Yeah. So whenever you take any cannabinoid, CBD, THC, CBN, CBG, you only get 3, 4, 5, 6% of it in your system. Most of it gets attacked by internal enzymes or just doesn't make it through the stomach acids. So the BioDry process, specifically this is the hemp NutriMix, a custom formula, it protects it against stomach acids. The only thing that can break this powder open is an amylase enzyme, and that's only present in your GI tract.
So it's like lock and key.
Very much. It's a Trojan horse. The body doesn't recognize it as a cannabinoid. It recognizes it as a polysaccharide. And it can't get to it until it gets into your intestines. And that's, by the way, where it gets absorbed into your bloodstream. So that's one of the ways it can increase your bioavailability. The other is its concentrated nature allows for space in a capsule for other ingredients. And you can use various different absorption enhancers. You can also use other complementary ingredients, other focus ingredients, other energy ingredients, or whatever conditions.
So for instance, if we wanted to come up with a pill that had, or if a nutraceutical manufacturer wanted a pill that they could advertise for sleep, it's going to leave more room in the pill. And they're going to be able to add things like melatonin and thus be able to make certain claims based on previous research.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest hurdles if you're in the CBD space or any cannabinoid space, is you can't make claims. And so if you have a formula in mind and you want to stack it, so to speak, with other ingredients, you spec it out to be a high concentration cannabinoid and leaving a lot of room for melatonin or ashwagandha or, like I said, absorption aids. And now you can make these claims because not only do those ingredients exist in the capsule, they exist at doses that are actually effective, not these complementary doses like 2, 3, 5 milligrams. You can have hundreds of milligrams of other ingredients.
So the BioDry increases bioavailability. I heard you mention it earlier. It's boosting the miners. What was the word you used?
You boost the miners, or amplify them.
Amplifies the miners. So essentially, you could put a high cost minor, like let's say a CBN, at 1/5 of the dose and still get probably the same dose you would if it wasn't encapsulated in bio-dry by the time it gets down to your stomach.
Yeah, the real one of the nice solutions that this brings to the table is we can make 5 milligrams act like 50. So instead of 3% getting into your system, we could push on 30% getting in your system. And so that small dose turns into the equivalent of something very large. And that's the real key moving forward with these more sophisticated formulas that are just now starting to see the light of day, you know, graduating past these tinctures and gummies and into something that's worthy of a $50 price tag now.
I thought
So
he'd never shut up.
you see, I know I was hoping he was going to end soon.
God.
Actually, it was very interesting, Mark. You know how Ron is. He's
Riveting.
very mature in these
Riveting.
meetings. So Ron, you're the guy that we could attribute this invention to you.
You could try.
Would you say you're kind of like Jesus with making wine out of water, essentially?
I'm more like a fat Gandalf. Let's go with that.
That's good. So this ingredient also works in food and beverage, a little variant of the formula. And you want to take it away as to why that's beneficial for a food manufacturer?
Yeah. So
or maybe say a couple things and hand it to him and see how boring what he says.
Oh my
is.
God, he's
so
going
the exciting
again.
side of the story, is
Exciting.
taking cannabinoids with the food has been, and this is a whole nother subject, but taking cannabinoids with the food increases the bioavailability by a 14x, right? So
Time out.
Yeah.
Your mic just died.
Yeah.
God damn it, boy.
Just put the camera on me when he's talking and I'm doing this.
Well, that's what you got to do. Yeah, you got to switch him around every once in a while.
Can you put the camera on me?
That's good stuff. On it.
I don't know how detailed to get on this.
Mic check. Mic check.
Mic check.
Yeah, you're back.
I'm back.
You're back, baby. Yeah, cut out halfway through, and I was like, "Who knows?"
Yeah,
As if we're in like a live podcast.
I know.
Oh no, what do we do? I'm like mouthing to Russ. You can hear him going, "His mic's off in the microphone."
Oh.
When you said that to me, when you could hear it,
What?
and you're like, "His mic's off."
Oh, shit.
It was directly. You just said it.
Leaned right into the mic.
Yeah.
His mic's off.
Like super loud.
Okay. So, Mark, back to food manufacturers.
So yeah, this process works for the nutraceutical industry. It also works for functional foods.
I'm just laughing at Ron because he's sleeping.
Yeah.
Look at him.
It also works for functional foods, Ron. And this is important. It's real important. And that ingredient is called hemp bake mix. And this could be the subject of its own podcast. But simply put, when you add cannabinoids to a food, it increases its bioavailability by a factor of 14. And if you think about it, it makes sense because these ingredients, these cannabinoids, exist in nature as part of a food, as part of a plant. And so that concentrated down to these doses all at once is the ingredients are natural, but its delivery and concentration is not. And so to take it with a food brings it back to its more close to its natural state, and the bioavailability jumps. What's also important is its half-life jumps. It stays in your system for an entire day. So, if you have one of our brownies or a cookie, or you make your own baked good or something, you know all about baked goods.
All about baked goods.
It stays in your system longer, and more of it gets in your system. So, the brownies, the cookies, you can put it into sauces and gravies and everything. So,
Did you say 14?
14x.
I thought that was your nose size.
Yeah.
I can attest to that. What's interesting is I could eat 50 milligrams and just 50 milligrams of CBD in a pill, and it won't be as strong and won't hit me as hard as something in a brownie. And that's the fat.
Yeah. So in your stomach, the cannabinoid emulsifies back into a fat, and again, it acts as a Trojan horse to make it into your intestines. And so these enzymes that would naturally attack it aren't available in significant numbers, and they don't recognize it as a foreign entity, and it just gets absorbed.
What's
That's the theory.
your favorite cannabinoid, Ron?
I have to say Delta 8.
Delta 8. Oh,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah, I do like Delta 8.
Remember the first day you tried the Delta 8 at the office?
Yeah, it was a great day. It was a
Yeah.
great day.
We didn't know what was up with him.
Yeah.
Right? We had no
It's a great day
idea.
for you,
It was a
nobody
great day
else.
for you.
That's all that matters to me.
Came in and asked me the weirdest question. I looked at him and said, "What's up with you?" He says, "I ate a Delta 8 gummy."
He was talking to who was it?
Jesus?
No, who's your guy?
My guy, Billy
Yeah.
Mays,
No.
Michael Jackson,
No.
Spider-Man,
No,
Bruno
well,
Mars?
Bruno Mars.
the bald guy. The real life comes in here. You're
Oh, Tom.
Tom
Yeah,
Quinn.
Tom Quinn.
yeah, you're chewing his ear off.
Oh, he likes that.
Yeah.
Tom likes to talk. So that was probably very.
Yeah, I don't remember
Nice for
much,
him.
but I
No,
do
I know.
remember it was great.
Yeah.
So
I was like, why is
Yeah.
Ron continuing to talk about nothing?
Yeah.
Oh,
Product
basically
Yeah.
that he got the perma smile.
Yeah, and he had that like
Smile.
hard Taurus, like when he would walk into a room, like, "Hey, you're not gonna believe this." And it's like, "Yeah, okay, I'm not believing you're talking to us at work right now."
Delta 8.
What's your favorite,
That's right.
Mark?
Well, I like the regular CBD. You know, it's a powerful anti-inflammatory. You know, I come from the nutraceutical world, and that's sort of the holy grail of preventative maintenance is an anti-inflammatory. And it's readily available. It's the most abundant. It's the lowest cost right now. So, you know, I'm all about making cool products, and that's the easiest way to do it. is CBD.
Yeah, I like that old fashioned. I the two new ones that we're looking at, CBN and CBG. I've noticed with the CBN, if I take that within 1 hour of ingesting it, my head hits the pillow and I'm asleep, and I sleep for about 9 hours. CBG, on the other hand, if I have just a little bit of that in the morning, I'm up till like 2 a.m. But I got major focus that day
Without the jitters.
without the jitters.
Without the
Yeah.
jitters. Yep. Gives
It's
you
like
laser
pre-workout,
focus. Yeah.
laser focus.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. So, and that's the main ingredient in BioDry Go, or I should
Yep.
say the major minor
Correct. Major minor.
You
I
like
like
that,
that.
major
Yeah,
minor.
Major minor.
with the minor boost. What do we call it? Minor
Amplify.
amplified minors. Yeah. So we're real excited about that. As far as the bake mix, we have it available on puresynergistics.com. Oh, by the way, we have our wonderful cat here helping us. You can't see her on camera.
Look at.
She's
Hi,
got her
Cat's
radio
Hi,
voice. What is that?
everyone.
Nice
Hi, it's
belonging
me,
with
Cat.
you.
Hi, it's me, Kat. Thanks for having me here today.
So it's Friday, and we just wanted to get on and say some stuff, and that was it. So, Ron, do you have anything else you want to add? Not as funny today. You weren't as funny today.
I'm trying to let you know. I can't hardly get a word in edgewise with Mark over here, droning on and on and on.
Please.
Please.
Yeah,
That's all I get.
Yeah.
Please.
I got my nap in during your speech.
Yours was pretty good. I like
At least I'm
yours.
a little bit animated.
No.
And you're also a little bit interesting. So
Yeah.
you got.
But
that
what
going
you
for
said, Mark, sounded really smart.
It sounded
Yeah,
smart,
it sounded
Yeah.
really smart.
Well, you are smart.
debatable.
No, you're smart.
Ron, can you maybe
That
talk a
nose.
little bit about the scientific, the science behind it, so that we get something extra smart
I'm
from
gonna,
you?
all right, get ready. I'm going
Yeah.
to sound geeky.
Something extra smart.
It's a three-dimensional helix structure
There
that
it
is a
is.
hydrophobic interior.
Don't be scared.
when
Allows
you
us to
talk
lock it
science,
in
Avery.
there. That polysaccharide, folks, it's specific. It can only be broken down by natural body enzymes.
Impervious. We are. It is.
But it allows us to lock it over 50% concentration. Number one ingredient in this stuff is hemp oil. I mean, think about that. It's a powder. It's dry. It's shelf stable. It's protected against cooking or eating or anything that you could possibly want to do with it. And it completely unlocks when it hits your small intestines. And that's where you absorb cannabinoids.
And the competitor to this powder is nano.
The best thing we can see is nano powder or liposomal powder, which is still emulsified powder. And, you know, the problem with those, they're expensive. They use a lot of unnatural chemicals. They tend to be dilute. It's just really hard to work with those, really expensive. Ours is natural, vegan. There's 3 ingredients and there's nothing unnatural about it. So it's just hard to beat.
Yeah,
Like
there's
me.
nothing like it.
Yeah, like
Nothing
me.
like it on the. That's right.
Yeah.
All right,
special.
so I'm looking at a question from the audience. Somebody's asking, where can they get baked goods in Pennsylvania?
Ooh.
With the
So right now we have the Hemp Baker brand, and we have a cookie and a brownie. I mentioned a couple times. Right now you find it in select convenience stores, select local grocery stores like Shop and Save, coffee shops, specialty stores like wellness centers, the Weiner Wellness Center in Crafton.
What's that one in Pittsburgh? 412? 412?
412.
412.
Cafe 412.
Cafe
On
412.
the west side.
I recommend it. Great place.
We're expanding into the likes of Albertsons. It's a large national grocery store chain. Truck stops like United Pacific, and we'll be in thousands of stores by the end of the year for sure.
truckers love at the Hemp Baker's goods.
Thousands.
Truckers love.
Truckers.
Yeah.
Mother truckers love it too.
All right, so I'm looking at another question from the audience. What is that on Fazio's eyebrow?
Yeah.
Mark has a theory on it. Why don't you tell him, Mark?
See, in the
It's right
womb,
there. See it? Right there.
In the womb, Ron Fazio
There it is.
absorbed his twin brother.
There it is.
And that's the remnants of his twin brother's femur.
I thought it was a
Right
third
there. Right there. See it?
eyebrow.
That's how big that poor boy was.
Look at that. I mean, it just distracts from an otherwise ugly
We couldn't get
face.
it
Look
off
at that
yesterday. We
face.
tried to get it off. We couldn't.
You know what my youngest daughter told me? She's told me it looked like I fell of the ugly tree, face down, and hit every branch.
It's good. She
Isn't
came
that
up with
sweet?
that. Mhm.
Sweet girl.
She is sweet. All right, Kat, you have anything?
No.
No. What'd you make with Bake Mix this week?
Cake.
You made a cake. Is that the one you brought?
Gluten-free cake.
We only eat gluten free,
Yeah.
mostly organic and
really?
all natural around here.
What?
Did you really make a gluten-free cake?
Well, she
Why'd
made
you bring it in?
I know.
No one will eat gluten-free stuff.
I would.
I would eat it.
All
yeah.
right, I'll bring it in.
Yeah, no one. That's a good point.
Shut up,
We have
Juke.
Colton over here in the audience.
We have a live studio.
We have a live studio audience here.
Hold it in Sean. Sean's way back, but he's
What
here.
up, Sean? That's right. All right, so I guess that's it. We're gonna quit taking questions from the audience at this point because it's getting late, and I just want to thank Mark Mangieri.
Thank you, Russ Cersosimo.
Yeah, I want to thank Ron Fazio.
Thank you.
I'll thank Kat Paletta for doing the
Kat.
switching
I got
And being there. when we need her. And I'm Ross Cersosimo, and we are out.